It's pretty much all the fucking time.
More often than
I think
not.
it's fun. Intro, motherfucker.
See? He knew that I fucking started
I know
it.
when he does it.
Oh, I wasn't
I
paying
always
attention
know when
to
he
him.
does it.
He sees that guilty look on my face, and
I'm
he
looking
immediately
at
knows.
drag queens and tattoos on
I'm
my
just cool.
Instagram.
Wait for people to fucking say some shit.
Like, no bullshit.
I believe you.
Drag queen, tattoos.
I look at tits and tats.
Kind of the same thing.
Except the tits I look at are natural.
Are they, though?
They are.
Most of the time.
I look at all natural. It's fucked up. That's awesome, though. It's really awesome.
Why is it fucked up?
Anyway.
Because that's all you see when you look at my Instagram. There's nothing but tits and tats.
No, but why is it fucked up that it's... Oh, you're saying it's fucked up because
It's fucked up, that's all you see. It's
Okay,
like,
okay. I get what you're saying.
And it's like
I
cosplay.
thought you were saying it was fucked up because they were natural.
No, it's like cosplay tits, natural tits. Oh, tattoo. Oh, wait a minute. Titties with tattoos. And it's...
So, welcome to Raise a Child.
And then fat asses.
And
Welcome, nigga.
enjoy yourself.
Enjoy yourself. Sit back.
So, for the, maybe 5 people tonight, whenever you're listening.
Does that include the 4 of us that'll listen to it?
We're moving up in numbers.
Wait, do you actually listen to it or no?
I do listen.
You do listen? Okay.
I do.
I don't know where to find it, but I would.
That's not true. You fucking followed the thing, dude.
Beanpod and you.
Yes.
On Podbean.
Or yeah, Podbean. My bad.
Podbean. Oh, I have looked it up
and
before.
YouTube. I still have Podbean on my fucking phone.
I know.
You can look it up on YouTube half the time.
Yeah, that's the one I usually listen to.
Oh yeah, that's where you can find us.
We didn't do that the last show.
We didn't have to. I always put the link and shit in that thing.
Nice.
Well, then I will be a loyal subscriber after tonight.
You already are.
You are a subscriber.
I don't listen to it because I didn't have it downloaded on my phone.
Listen to our own
Or
shit.
are you still putting it on
And I'm
YouTube?
It automatically uploads to YouTube.
You can also find it on YouTube.
Under
On the YouTube.
on what?
YouTube.
On the YouTube.
There was a YouTuber that I watched.
Guatemala.
Wait, did anybody else hear the boy?
I hear
A Jew.
He said a Jew.
No, there was a YouTuber that I watched, like early 2000s, 2009-ish, 8,
2000s.
Regardless, babe.
whatever. He would say,
1996.
"Hello, YouTube."
It's 2008, 3:15 p.m.
I like how you said the year and the time, but left out the day,
day.
the month,
yeah.
like the whole fucking 9 yards.
Figure it out, motherfuckers.
You're on your own.
So
There's only 365 chances. No, not even that. It'd have to be double because there's 2 315s.
Oh.
See? I figured
What
out.
I said PM.
Oh, he said
Oh, you did say
PM.
PM?
I did say
Okay,
PM.
I missed the PM.
Oh.
Okay, so only one. Sign me up for the next one. Another one
Another
coming
one
around. Little side note.
Here they're
So,
running
Catch you
2 a
next
day
time,
out
dummy.
of Arizona.
so I have little letters on the bottom of my socks because they're Dr. Scholl's. These socks are as old as Logan.
Your socks say Cholo.
Do they?
No,
it says
Scholl's.
Scholl's.
It says
He's
Scholl's.
adding extra letters.
But I just
No,
pulled
that's
it.
the Mexican bootleg version of Dr. Scholl's.
Robert got these for me when I was in the hospital having
Were you
Logan.
in the hospital, or was it before that I got
Nope, because I forgot socks because it was a clusterfuck of a day, and I had to throw shit in a bag while in labor.
What? The day you have a kid is a clusterfuck of a day? No.
Mine more so than most people. Just saying. And you bought these for me because my feet were cold.
Oh,
And I didn't
that's
have
probably
socks.
why I would buy you warm
You're
socks.
so sweet.
And
Honestly, I just didn't know where they were. The
I
ones that she was
I
wanting.
wasn't going to look through her shit, so I just bought her some
basically, it was like...
that might have been the reason. I don't
Well,
remember.
actually, I think it was because I didn't want to drive all the way back home.
It sounds like
So I
solid
got-
fucking reasoning to me, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It worked out.
It
She
did.
likes the socks.
Store closer.
I still have them. Obviously. So this time we are talking about yes,
Socks, clearly.
Socks. Tube socks, ankle socks.
toe socks.
I love
That wasn't
those.
what was originally
I've never
intended.
worn them, but I like how they look on most chicks. Unless they have those little fat sausage weird toes. It's a weird thing.
It is weird to see that.
You don't want to see a midget with fucking, toe socks.
Anyway,
I want to see a midget, period.
They're all like flippers on her toes. 'Cause
I
you can't
see.
make them-
It's like the fucking patients or the inmates are running the asylum.
That's
What?
because you guys let us talk.
You should.
Okay,
should
then
not.
you guys shut the fuck up, and we will not
Well,
hear
fine.
from you guys.
I won't even participate in this one.
You're lying,
Shut the fuck up. Start the podcast.
right? Anyway, so we'll cut most of this shit out.
Why? It's fun.
Are you sure?
Absolutely.
It's fun for us. That's for
Absolutely.
goddamn sure.
Anyway, so this time,
Sorry, I didn't realize my sound was on.
Just watch
I
hentai
apologize.
again.
yeah, right. So we are going to discuss being a step parent. Woo! Ow!
Sorry.
His rings are.
So I've never stepped
Mighty.
on any of my parents.
You walked all over them motherfuckers if you could. Anyway, this is about step parents. And
Clearly.
me and you should have our little input on it type deal.
Okay.
Input, I mean, y'all are the step
Yeah, we're
parents.
step
Yeah.
parents. Poor kids.
It's not really input at this point.
Those poor chitlins.
Are you okay,
You
babe?
done? Your cheeks okay?
No.
No.
Okay,
She's
sorry.
laughing really hard.
Sorry.
She was trying not
She's
to
been
laugh.
working
at
out a
it
lot
worse.
lately, and now she's working on her face.
Yeah, my face really needs the workout. Yes, so step parenting. Because while we do have a very cohesive co-parenting system going, there are 4 kids, 3 of them which we are step parents to. I like the term bonus parent. Step parent just seems so
Callous.
clinical.
It's really
Well, I mean, it
callous.
always has a negative connotation to it because it's like the wicked stepmother.
I blame Cinderella.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It wasn't just Cinderella that did that.
She had the evil stepmother.
Snow White.
Okay, well, Disney.
I'm sure there are others.
Disney hated step parents.
Yeah.
Yes, fucking Disney. I love Disney, but fucking Disney and their step parent.
Damn James.
God,
Sorry.
I was about to say, he was the furthest thing from a Jew. He,
He
hated
just hated
Jews.
them. He just hated them. And he raised us to hate them for some goddamn reason. I don't know why, but whatever.
no.
It's not the easiest thing being a step parent. Sometimes you feel like your opinion doesn't matter as much. You know what I mean? Like, so
Yeah.
you just kind of shut down and clam up and back the fuck out of it, But
It's
I mean, it's kind of different for you, I think, because I do feel like a step parent. You are a bonus parent because
You're a bonus parent
but your
too.
thing's
Shut
a lot
up.
more constant. You know
See,
what I mean?
but the
So
thing
you're
is-
constantly around them.
but that's
And-
where us being so close, parent wise, works because we have you guys over all the
Oh, yeah.
time.
We're
so
always
I
doing
don't
some
think.
shit together.
Yeah, so I don't think it should be looked at as. I mean,
that sounded really negative.
What?
We're always doing some shit together.
No, we didn't mean to. We're always doing some shit together. Fuck you.
with these fucking mooks over here.
These fucking mooks. I mean, we're always together. We are. But
Yeah.
I still feel like sometimes, I don't know, you feel like as a step parent, your opinion doesn't matter as much. You know what I mean? You ever feel like that?
Yes.
So,
all the
I mean,
time.
that's just the way it is.
Because
And I try explaining it to Mandy, and she's like, no, it's like, no, dude, it's not the same.
well,
Yeah.
especially
No,
with
it's not the same in y'all's heads because I treat my opinion the same way I treat all 3 of y'all's whenever it comes to the kids and raising them. Because I know that I'm overbearing as shit sometimes. That fuck you. I'm the hard ass in most of the situations. Like, I have to be the disciplinarian, which is fine. I don't mind it necessarily, but I know that y'all are usually the more level-headed ones and don't freak out about shit as much.
I've never heard anybody describe me as level.
yeah.
I know I've never used that term for him.
What?
What?
Huh? Who's on second?
Head's kind of flat on top right here. I wouldn't say level exactly.
That's never mind.
It's-
but
I don't know.
No, it's my biggest thing is more that they think that they can treat me certain ways because I'm Nisha and I'm not mom or dad.
I deal with that with one, in all honesty. There's one kid that always tests me. You know, they'll always...
Kaylee.
They'll always... It's just like, you tell her something, and she gives you that, fuck you.
No, she does that to me, too. Don't you worry about that.
Alright, perfect example. Like, I've told you this story. When I first got with Mandy and we first started getting close, and it took months before I ever interacted with kids. I mean, she didn't bring them around until...
They didn't know about it
like,
for months.
Like, fucking, we're already together for over half a year. Before they ever came around me. I didn't want anything to do with them.
Which is dumb because they already knew you.
Yeah, well, but...
it took
But at that
forever
point,
for them finally
once
to
again,
know
we were
that I was
friends
dating
before.
somebody.
It was Uncle Gabriel. And Chris would call me that. And Mandy was like, dude, you gotta quit calling him fucking Uncle Gabriel. Because that shit's fucking
Does
creepy.
your mom bring anybody around?
Anybody you call Uncle.
Oh, that's so much funnier.
Oh, that's funny on so many levels.
But, so...
I just brought that up earlier today, too. That was... anyway, sorry.
So she was the hardest to win over. She was. Kaylee was absolutely the hardest to win over.
Kaylee's just the hardest one to win over
that
in
I've
general.
won her over completely at all. It's just...
She's like her mother in that way that she's really hard to access.
we went to... What was it?
Hard to
Traders-
read
We went to Traders
sometimes,
Village.
too.
And I told the kids at the time, you know, I was working and fucking... I had plenty of money. I was doing really good. Fucking still doing electrical work and shit. And it was like, dude, whatever the fuck y'all want, we'll get. You know, just fucking let me know, blah, blah, blah. And Noe right away is like, I want this. And it's like, baby, cool. You know, get it.
Got you.
Nigga, we'll get two. I don't give a fuck. And it wasn't even. It wasn't.
Was a Hello Kitty backpack or something.
No, that wasn't.
No, that was.
Yeah,
that was,
it wasn't
okay.
even trying to
I don't even know
win.
what it was.
It wasn't trying to win their love. It wasn't trying to get them to like me. It's just I like buying stuff for people that I like.
He's had a real big thing
I
about
got a dress.
showing his affection financially.
That's
And
how
I can't talk shit because I do the same
That's
thing.
how I was raised.
I feel
you know, like,
good whenever I buy people
Nigga, I
shit,
love buying
you know what
people.
I mean?
I love buying people and me shit. It's awesome.
Especially me.
Right? So Chris asked for a video
Makes me feel
game
like
and
less
shit
of
like
an
that.
asshole if I can
Kaylee
buy something.
quietly kind of grabs her mom and tugs at her arm. She's like, "Is he cool? Get me something." And she's like, "Baby, he already said, you know." Whatever
I was
the
like,
fuck you
go
want."
ask. She found something that she wanted, and I was like, go ask him.
So she
Because
asked
he's
me,
the one buying the shit.
Yeah.
She asked me, "Am I going to get anything?" And Mandy tells me what she wants. She wants a Hello Kitty backpack.
I think she still has that thing.
So
I
She
think
does.
she does some.
I spent fucking like 2-3 hours walking around Traders Village to find this goddamn backpack.
Because we had already passed it.
This baby wanted. And like we went from the front to the back to the front, all the way back to the back. Like, it was insane. And that's the first time I actually took pictures with the kids. You realize that? That's when we took the growling.
That was the same day?
Yeah, those were our monster pictures. That was the first time that the kids
That's
took pictures with me. And it was really hard to get her
But at the time,
away from. She wanted mommy and daddy to be back together.
Yeah.
And in her mind, this motherfucker is what's keeping it from
I don't
happening.
think it was all that.
Yeah,
He has to
think-
put it
I
in
think-
Gabriel
yeah,
talk.
Well, but in y'all's mind, that's how
Yeah,
it
it's
works.
these motherfuckers
Yeah.
are what's keeping it from happening. You know, fuck these guys.
Because at the
And-
time, she would say, well, why don't you just move in with Dad and Nisha so that we can still see you? And I try to explain to her, you know, that's
Like
not how
that's
this
not how
works.
this works.
It's not going to work, baby. I'm telling you right now. It's,
So it's not that she had a problem with y'all
Especially
being
with
in the
Gabriel
picture.
coming
She
over
just
and,
still
you know.
wanted us all to live into the same room.
She wanted a fucking commune.
Yeah, she didn't want to have to choose.
She is going to
between
end up being a
which-
hippie.
we'll all
Don't
drink
worry.
Kool-Aid together. It would be
Hey,
great.
she gets it naturally.
Matching
But she
tracksuits.
didn't
It'll be
want to
fine.
have to choose between the parent that she got to see all the time. Like, she had become a really big mama's girl, and she didn't like sharing me with you at all.
She
still
didn't
doesn't
like
part of it.
sharing you with me.
She still
she
doesn't
didn't
like
like
sharing
sharing-
you with anyone.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she does,
with
if
the other
she
two.
latches onto somebody, like that's
Yeah.
it.
She
You
doesn't
can only
like
pay
sharing you
attention
with
to
her
me.
fucking siblings. Like,
Yeah.
it's just Kaylee.
Because she'll still argue that. You'd be like, you're my dad. I'm like,
But the day, like, you know,
Her
like
and
I
Noe
said,
both do that to me.
said earlier last time, you know, when Noe first told me that she loved me and that I was her dad, it fucked me up like smooth. But when Kaylee actually said, like, I think of you as another dad, that shit, like...
It's almost like you're another dad.
It wasn't even like I won, dude. It was like... It broke my heart because it was really fucking sweet to hear. And it was finally like, oh my god, she finally fucking likes me.
That last bit
It's like,
that little validation.
Holy shit, dude. Like, it's been like fucking a year or two. And she finally tells me, you're alright. Like gives me a little knock
Good job, champ.
Knock to the chin. She's like, you're alright, kid. And I'm like,
I like the cutting edge Jim.
I am alright. Thanks, man. Fucking validation from a fucking 10-year-old. Ain't that a motherfucker? It was cool.
She had to be younger than 10, by the way.
She was way younger than 10.
2 years.
Because when I first got with her, Chris was 7.
Yeah.
And Noe was just turning 1.
Yeah.
Noe
just turned 1.
Noe
No,
was,
2.
No, she was just 1.
Yeah.
Noe was still in diapers. Like, she was baby.
She hadn't just turned 1. Well, I mean, a few months before.
She was about a year and a half then.
Yeah.
It was about a year and a half.
She celebrated her birthday right around when I started coming around.
Yeah.
I wasn't there for that because I was fucked up. But, whatever. You don't want some fucking shut-head monster motherfucker at your kid's birthday party,
Shut-head.
It's like releasing Frankenstein's monster on a children's party. You don't want that shit. Let's play dodgeball. It's like, fuck. No.
The monster's name was Tomas.
We don't have dodgeballs. We only have these really hard baseballs. It'll work.
Did you have a hard time winning the kids
Dodge a
over?
wrench, you can dodge a ball.
Yeah, I mean, yes and no.
She came in a little different, though.
I did come in a little bit different because...
Yet another wrinkle to the fucked up story.
It's all Jerry Springer shit.
Jerry.
I just threw myself into the fucked up pool. Might I add.
There will be no fights
just
in
like,
this
fuck
episode,
it, nigga, fucking cannonball right into
Dude,
this
this
shit.
was already a fucking car wreck, and you opted in. Like,
you
like,
saw
I'll
the car
jump
wreck,
right in.
like, yo, I'm a part of that too.
You
I was
jumped
the
in
passerby
front of the 2 cars that were
I was the passerby that laid down next to the cars, and I was like, my neck!
You're like, where did this motherfucker show up from? No, but...
Nigga showed up hiding the motherfucker. So I love playing with kids. Come here. It's great.
Anyway.
Because the first year of us being together, I was stoned in a motherfucker. Constantly.
So,
I believe it.
So hot. No,
Constantly.
God, he was so high.
We'd go walking around and shit, dude. Be like, oh, baby, look at this flower.
He would feel so guilty because there was one sidebar, obviously. We were out in the backyard, the house on Demerit, and he and I were talking. And he was about to cook or something. I don't remember what it was. And he started like fucking hitting this pipe.
I'm hitting my shit.
And I think it was Noe or was it Kaylee that came up to the sliding glass window and they were just like put their face.
Kaylee.
It was Kaylee.
It's Kaylee.
And he's just like looking over, and then he like looks at me. He's like, "Dude, I feel like a dick for smoking."
And it wasn't paranoia or any of that bullshit.
No, it was just like, let me guilty about it.
I just don't do it around kids. I didn't like doing it around kids. I don't do it around kids. Like I don't like.
Well, you don't smoke anymore, so.
Well, not anymore. I never smoked around them.
No.
I would get fucking blazed though, dog, and then come around and be like, "Who wants to finger paint?" It's just like, hell yeah, fucking like
It's like fucking Harlan Williams and goddamn Half Baked.
Fuck that,
dude. You're doing a great job.
I was Kenny, man.
No, Harlan Williams. That's his name in real life.
Was that Kenny?
Yes.
Who was
the one that got arrested.
Man.
No, that dude.
That was
Harlan Williams is.
No, Kenny's the one that got arrested.
Yes, that's Harlan Williams.
Who's the other one? The Funyuns.
What the fuck?
Brian?
He's the motherfucker that really doesn't smoke in real life.
Why can't I think of
Harlan Williams doesn't.
Harlan Williams doesn't smoke in real life, but neither did Homeboy, did he?
He's the paint.
Anyway.
The Sears bombing guy.
Yes.
Yeah.
I can't think of his name.
Anyway,
I can Google that shit
That's
later.
more who I was like than anybody when I was a stoner.
When I was a stone.
I was a stoner.
I like that boulder. That's a nice boulder.
Yeah, I stayed constant. So ask her, like I'd wake up and it'd be like, morning. It's like it's just the way it was.
Official wake and bake.
From the time I woke up to the time I went to sleep, I'd spend $500 a week easily.
Okay.
I love how the
Jesus.
majority of these podcasts talk about drugs. That's
I'm sorry,
awesome,
bring it back.
Especially when
Bring
we're
it back.
talking about the kids.
Sorry.
No,
Just
but
saying.
I came in
Love
a
it.
different capacity. They had known me for a while already, so I was already, Aunt Nisha.
She had already fucking punched Kaylee in the head with
I
a
did
pool
not
cue.
punch her in the head. Okay, we were playing pool. She walked around.
What did you do?
She was walking around the pool table as I'm rearing back to hit the ball, and I hit her in the head
She fucking
with the pool cue.
punched her in the face.
I did not punch her in the face. Anyway.
The baby just remembered right now. She forgot.
No, she
She's
didn't.
traumatized. We're gonna have to try to get her therapy.
We don't have that kind of money.
Yeah, we don't.
My mother hit me in the
Dude,
head
I've
with a
been
pool
telling her
cue.
for years we can't afford
I
the
was
kind of help she
abused.
needs.
That and me hitting her in the head with a pool cue when she was 3, 4.
Kids go around places they shouldn't be.
You know what?
Like
You know
adults
what? That's
drunkenly playing
why
pool.
she turns in on herself. That's
No, it was like the middle of the day. Like she wasn't even drunk. It was,
Drunkenly playing pool. Oh well.
she wasn't drunk. We were at her ex-husband's house watching the Super Bowl, and it happened then.
So that was 2009.
I think.
So she had just turned 3.
Well,
Yeah.
Noe was terrified of me when she first met me,
Well,
and Noe was horrified of me when she first met me though. I remember spending the night at your house one night, and fucking turned around. Noe was
is that the night you fell through the table?
no. That was
No.
way
Is that the
before.
night you ninja'd?
No, that was the same night, dummy.
No, it what?
That was the
It
same
was
night.
the same night.
Oh,
This was way before.
What is it with my friends and drunk falling through that goddamn table? I just realized
'Cause
that.
I
Jimmy
didn't
did
fall
it
through that
too.
table.
Bub ran his shin into it. Jimmy fucking ate shit on his birthday, and Gabriel fucking fell on top of it
I
too.
hit my chin on it. But that's how I knew I had a strong fucking chin,
He
dude.
was like, "Oh yeah, sturdy."
okay. Well, don't hit yourself in the chin. Anyway,
Noe was wearing a hula skirt. And I turned around, just woke up, and I growled at her. And she freaked out, ran off, and she ran into the coffee table. And that was Noe's first impression of me. Was the scary motherfucker. And then, maybe a few times after that, we were at the house in Seagullville. And it was one of the first times we tried hanging out after that, everything.
I think that was the housewarming. No,
That's when...
did y'all go to the housewarming? Yeah.
That was the housewarming.
That was it.
Yeah. Okay.
But anyway, I was going in to get a drink, and I opened the fucking garage door because we were playing in the garage, and I hit her with the goddamn door, and she fell over. And I went to pick her up, like, oh my god, I'm sorry, and she screamed her head off. Like, I terrified her, dude.
You scarred her.
And
for
it was
life.
awesome scaring her, because to a sick point, I like kids being afraid of me. Up until I realized when I growl at her, she started sticking her little fingers in my mouth. And it was like, and she's like, ugh.
Kitty!
I was like, damn it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Turn into Monsters Inc. That's exactly what the fuck happened.
So
Yeah.
She's Boo. He's fucking Sully.
Yeah. So
Does that make Mandy Mike Wazowski?
Mike Wazowski.
Mike Wazowski. I love
Yeah.
Mike Wazowski. Yeah.
Yeah.
She's Billy
does.
Crystal.
Yeah. 100%.
My wife is not Billy Crystal.
Mandy, are you Billy Crystal?
I am.
See, I told you.
Mike Wazowski.
I've just been hiding the money.
Bitch,
No,
nigga.
we were talking about how
Rent's due, nigga, so,
No.
it irritated him whenever he would growl at Noe and she'd stick her fingers in his mouth, and I
She
said it
stopped
was the
being afraid of me?
Monsters Inc. thing.
Oh, yeah.
Which made him Sully, her Boo,
Oh,
and
yeah,
you're Mike Wazowski.
You're Mike
I-
Wazowski.
I called him Sully for a while.
Yeah, you're Mike Wazowski then.
Mike Wazowski.
We all did it. We all did it.
kids.
Kitty.
So
Anyway.
I do have to say, as far as the step-parent thing goes, that the other day, whenever I was talking to Noe on the phone, Logan came in there talking and was like, I want to talk to Mandy for a second. So he gets on the phone and was like, damn it!
We try to keep him from doing that because it's annoying.
We know that's your time to talk to the kids.
It's fine, but he gets on the phone and that's fine because, they all talk to me every night and, he's like, I want to talk on the phone. I want to talk on the phone like the rest of the kids. And his question was, why don't I have step parents like the other three.
We had that conversation. We had to have that conversation with him after that
And
night.
yeah, and I told him
It's like it
that-
doesn't work that way.
I told him I was like, because both of your parents are still married to each other, but you do have me and Gabriel, but we're not your step parents. Like I had to try to explain that.
Wait,
to
what
him.
did he say? Do I get step parents next year?
Whenever I get older.
Or whenever I get
Because
older, do
the
I get
older
step
three
parents?
are older than him, so he thinks once he gets to a certain age, he's going to get step parents.
It's like a rite of passage or
Yeah.
some shit.
They're like, no, we're not doing this shit again. No, we're not.
Give anyone.
So he thinks it's a good thing that you get an extra family. Like
Yeah, but being
you already have an extra family,
He
even if
has
you didn't.
Yeah, he has an extra family.
Yeah, even if you didn't want them. Like
You're stuck.
regardless, motherfucker.
No, I
Deal
mean,
with the asshole that scares you and makes you cry for no
yeah,
reason.
but he also climbs up you and like
It does.
He
sits
you
on
like he's
your
a goddamn
shoulder like a
parrot.
parrot.
So funny.
He needs to be afraid of me.
He's really not.
I always thought of me and Noe as, did you ever play Bioshock?
No.
I know what you're talking about.
Little
though.
girls that walk around, they're like pure energy, and you're trying to harvest these. And the big monster is called the Big Daddy. So Big Daddies walk around with
This
their
all
little
sounds
girls.
very creepy.
It's a scary fucking game, but it's scary for some people, but it's an awesome game. But I always think of that because the little girls are like, "Come on!" and they like grab them by the hand, and they're walking around with this monster motherfucker, and that's what I think of when I'm with her.
it reminded me of Bleach.
With Kenpachi and fucking Yachiru.
But I always thought to myself, if we ever went to a cosplay, I'd want to be able to have the money to dress as a Big Daddy and dress Noe as one of those little
That
girls.
would be fucking fun.
That would be adorable.
Because I've seen a couple of them like that.
Should
Those
be.
things
I don't
are
know,
fucking badass.
because Noe's kind of a ninja, so I think y'all should be Kenpachi and
I'm not thin enough to be Kimpachi or whatever the fuck his name
he's
is.
big.
But
I
they
don't know
wear
which one it
they
is.
wear really baggy fucking shit, so you wouldn't. I'm serious. You wouldn't be able to tell.
Sometimes it's difficult being the step parent though, because you feel like they're not going to listen to you. And I've never hit the kids
You should.
personally. Well, I felt like I've never
try
had
it.
to. I've never had to.
It's great.
I
Oh yeah, he has.
I popped
fucking
Logan on his
Logan.
ass one
Yeah.
time. I felt terrible.
Don't.
I came from a family where I got my ass kicked on a daily
Yeah.
basis.
So you're
Yeah, but
very,
there's-
very
I don't
But
like
there's a
hidden kids. I don't
there's
hit
a
kids.
difference,
I don't do
though.
it.
But
Yeah.
anyway,
With Chris,
Yeah,
the one
like,
and only
like
time.
Haley says, just
Well,
beat him
I only
a
had
little
to. I had to discipline him maybe twice.
Yes.
Discipline. So I made him do military squats and hold books, or hold his arms up.
Yeah.
And
He fucking
that
hated
shit
that.
was way worse. Or I'd make him do push-ups.
That was one of the turning points where whenever I heard that, I was like, maybe we can get along.
And Noe would get next to him and do push-ups, and it would fucking infuriate him.
'Cause-
He'd be like,
she's
"Go
like,
away,
"Come on,
go
let's
away."
go."
Because whenever you're a kid, it's different. It's
If it's
different whenever
voluntary-
you want to do
yeah,
it,
if it's
and then once you
voluntary.
have to do it, it's like no.
Fuck this.
I'm done.
I can't do it.
We know you can't. You have girly muscles.
Use
Your
your girly
weak little
muscles.
spaghetti
I
arms.
don't have any.
No, but
Those are our kids in the background.
Herbs, the spaghetti.
I don't know. That's
What?
always been my hardest thing was getting them to like me. I think, and listen to you, and to you saying, "Hey, don't do that," and them not trying to stare you down like they're going to kick your ass. It's like,
Fuck you, motherfucker.
I think it's more in y'all's head of well, I'm not their biological parent, so I need to do this.
100%.
it just feels like, and correct me. Well, no, they're my feelings, so don't correct me. But
no,
if
you are wrong.
fuck you. It just feels like sometimes you're never going to be good enough.
You never will be.
Like on the same level. At,
I feel like I'm not good enough, and I birthed them.
That
I
ain't
remind them.
birth.
I have to remind them of that on a constant basis. Like,
you didn't birth them? Are you
I
serious?
physically did not birth them.
You didn't birth them?
No,
Why?
they did not come out of his body, but
Yeah.
Birth or birth?
birth.
She did
Well,
both,
she did
asshole.
burp y'all too.
Yeah, I
So-
burped you too.
I did too. You threw
You're
up
like,
on
that
me a
one I
lot.
did. I was capable of that
But your
one.
brother ruined more of my t-shirts than you did, so.
But yeah, it's,
Oh, not throw up.
you
It's a
know.
constant
It was.
battle of whether you're good enough or whether you think that they respect you or that they like you or just anything like that. And it sucks sometimes, and it's really fucking awesome other times. You know what I mean?
Most of the time it's awesome.
All the time it's usually awesome. Up until it's like, hey, you're fucking up, and they look at you like you're some bitch. It's like
I ain't no
hey,
bitch, motherfucker. You don't know
bitch.
it.
I was raised in the streets, my nigga. What's up, son? It's like, you feel like Bernie Mac. She looked me up and down, so I took a step back. Said, bust a move.
The
Goddamn.
one place that I think that y'all have the disadvantage is the fact that, we were there from the beginning when we could, let them know our expectations from the beginning and how far they could push us. But at the same time, it could also be a benefit to y'all for the simple fact that, they don't know how far they can push y'all, so... Well, I mean, they pretty much know now.
Now they do.
With you, yes, definitely. Like him, he's still that scary. Like he could snap off at any time. You just don't know.
I expect perfection.
You aren't perfect, motherfucker. You can't expect perfection.
They will be perfect.
You cannot expect perfection when
Chris,
you are not
a Spartan?
perfect.
He will be one day.
No, he's...
Haley,
I'm a screeching demon.
there you go. That's my girl.
Oh,
You're my favorite son.
Yay!
I love you, boy.
Chris turns around dejected.
I love you.
He actually threw his phone.
He threw his phone down. Wait, that's all it took?
Earlier, I told
You
Chris.
should have said that to him a long
I
time
always
ago.
do. I always fuck with him. I told Kaylee earlier, you're no longer my favorite son, Chris, and he's like, yes.
It was funny as shit. It was funny as shit.
Kaylee's like, I don't even care.
Just like, I'm not a boy. What the fuck?
No, but that makes her feel good for some reason.
She likes beating Chris at everything.
That's true.
Like, aha, I'm a better dude than you are. Fuck you.
Like,
We have-
being a parent in general is just really fucking hard.
I think it's harder when you're a step parent.
And I think it's because you have to, like, establish yourself. And it's like credit. Like, you gotta
It's
fucking...
like Gabriel Iglesias talks about.
Yeah,
in the
you
same
gotta
way.
put in time
Well, you have to
and
win
work
credit with the
and-
kids. You have to win credit with the biological parents to say, hey, dude,
I'm not here
I'd
to
never
be a
hurt your
fuck-
kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love
Yeah.
your kids. I love our kids eventually. You know what I mean? I mean, that's just the way it is. Like, I'm here for them
and then
as much as you'll be.
Yeah, and then you have to walk a line of showing that I'm not trying to replace anyone else. You have everyone, but
Well,
crumping and shit.
okay. Most step parents, y'all are different in that aspect because most step parents aren't like that.
But there's a lot of step parents that have to be that parent because the
other
one
one
has
is-
fucking bailed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well-
So in those situations, I kind of get it. But in our situation, the kids have had you and I since the day they were born.
Yeah.
So they didn't lose anything. They
Well,
just
no, but
they
I
ended up
mean
gaining
that
something
whole
else.
I'm not trying to replace anybody.
Yeah.
Like a lot of them, they don't care about the other group or whatever.
Yeah,
so
the other
they don't
parent.
have to
Yeah,
care
it-
about
they still have a lot of animosity towards each
Yeah.
other. That was the whole
That's-
thing that we were talking about last time. You gotta get fucking put yourself aside and stop being such a fucking asshole and be a parent.
And that's one of the reasons why I think that y'all have it a little bit harder because it's one of those, I'm not trying to replace the parent that you still have.
I'm just trying to be an additional parent,
Yes.
an additional
Well,
person
Robert-
in your life.
Robert and
Respect
I
me the
have
same
had
way.
that talk, and it's the whole. Well, they look at you like you're Superman. You're Super. No, motherfucker, I'm Batman, motherfucker. For one thing,
I want to be Batman.
and, I
You
mean,
guys know the rest.
That's the second Juggalo reference made in this one. I don't.
Oof,
like
oof.
it.
Oh, get the
You will-
fuck out of my house!
You will never replace a biological parent. All you can do is be there for them.
Yeah, and
my
I'm
thought.
not trying to replace
No, you
Mandy.
can't.
And it's not like
And there's
like Noe calls me
Dude,
mom.
you wouldn't
but
want to
the-
be Mandy. I've been Mandy for a long time. I'm just saying.
Mandy has to do it
76
again.
I tried
years.
being Mandy for a while.
I'm
It was
joking.
a weird time.
Mandy has to deal with Gabriel, dude. Enough said.
And
Daily.
on the daily.
It is fucking
I'm just
exhausting.
kidding.
It is
I love
exhausting.
you.
No,
He
but
doesn't do much, but-
so it's a weird line to walk. Of because everyone's born with a mother and a father. Whether
Yes.
whether those parents are still in the lives, that's to be
I was the
determined
Immaculate
later.
Conception.
I feel like as long as
Were you all born in a litter too?
Yes.
Ain't my twin in the room.
Hey, my twin in the. They gave me a babupsy.
I feel like as long
Hip-hop
as long as you have the kid's best interest at heart, it doesn't matter if you gave birth to them or if you're someone who is taking care of them because you love them. It shouldn't really matter.
It shouldn't, but I think
know,
all like okay, and
I know that
you
that's
and
looking
I's
at it from
situation, like we have both been leery at different times initially, like because we don't know how it's going to play out at first. Because I know I was like that with him. I was very defensive at first.
Oh yeah.
Because I remembered how he was, but I knew that was the friend that I knew, not the guy that's gonna be the other father to my kids. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Trying to drown kids.
And day one, I had
not our kids. There's
Not
another kid.
intentionally. Yeah, not. I was way younger.
I'm not gonna lie. Day one, like
It's like 33 or some shit.
once I knew Nisha as a friend, and once I realized that she was gonna
But
be
you
a
knew her as a
stepmom-
friend before that, right?
Yes. And once I realized that she was going to be the kid's mom, at first I did have a problem just because
She'd
the
cry.
dynamic was different whenever we were all friends,
Mm-hmm.
and I
wasn't a
sure,
parent then.
Yes, I wasn't sure
That she'd be able
that
to handle it,
that
or
she
that she
would be able to be there for the kids the way that they needed to be, and she proved me wrong. And I have told her on many occasions since then.
She cried
That's-
all the time, hearing Noe especially calling somebody else mom.
It was hard.
You know, it fucks
It
with
was
you.
hard,
And
but
I'm not-
I understood it because I was the first
'Cause,
one to call my stepmom mom.
But you know,
So I
that
understood
was
it.
mom around her. You know,
Yeah.
since Noe was a baby, this is the way her family's been,
yes.
she's always had
Yeah,
two
that's
moms. She's
what she
always
does.
had two dads.
and that's what she's always remembered.
Yeah.
This fucking mook over here, though.
She's
Yeah.
like, I hate both of you.
Kaylee was a
motherfuckers."
little bit hard.
And then she's talking to us, not y'all.
Kaylee's like, you know what?
I've occasionally
Fuck Gabriel.
called y'all mom and
Nisha's
dad.
all right.
I have occasionally called y'all mom and dad. And I've done it before.
And
Yes.
Chris does the same
She
thing.
is.
Yeah.
And Chris
Yeah.
has called me dad quite a few times.
Because, like, whenever... I've noticed that they don't, like, call you that directly a lot of times. But whenever they're talking to their friends, it doesn't... Like, it's interchangeable.
Yeah.
They'll say, my
Well,
mom, my dad, blah, blah, blah,
When we
blah.
first got together, they'd slip all the time. Dad this,
Yeah,
dad that.
a lot.
And I'd correct them because I was a fucking dick. Like, I was afraid to get
Well,
close to them.
And
it
you
was like,
were the whole, not wanting to.
no, that was
Replace anybody.
It wasn't. No, what her thing was, I didn't want to be anyone's dad, and I didn't at the time.
Yeah.
But I wasn't trying to replace anybody. I wasn't trying to even get that shit started. And it was
It's the
just
same
like,
here,
dude,
like-
I'm not your fucking dad. And
Like-
I wasn't as brutal about it. I'm not your dad. That's all there is to it. You have your daddy. I'm Gabriel. Just call me Gabriel. And that's the way it was for
Asshole.
a
No, I'm
while.
kidding.
It was like that for a while, right?
No, like
then just-
the older two still call me Nisha, and that people are like, that doesn't bother. No, that doesn't bother me at all. No, he calls me mom because I've been around since literally the day she was born.
No, but I've heard both of them call you mom, especially whenever they're talking to Logan.
Yeah,
And
that's
stuff like that.
yeah,
But-
that's a little bit.
Well, like he said, whenever they're talking to other people, it's just,
Yeah.
it's
Or my
it's
mom's
just
my
like that.
dad's, you
Yeah.
know, like,
But
it's not...
If we slip, we don't correct ourselves anymore.
But there's no point
There's no
in
reason
correcting.
to.
Like,
Yeah.
they are still your parents.
Yeah.
You know, so it really doesn't matter regardless.
Like if they wanted, I don't know how you would feel if they wanted to call me mom, like full time. Like I don't know. I don't know.
Well, no, those were
But-
the first,
but I don't-
first
Are
few.
their mom full
Those
time?
that was the first
so-
few initial times for like the first year.
You're like,
It was
shut
like-
that shit down.
Yeah,
I don't want to
no.
feel emotions.
No, it
I'm
was-
not your daddy,
no,
bitch.
No, I'm talking about with Mandy. It's
No.
just like they're
Yeah,
they're
no.
calling someone else mom, like it broke her little
Because
heart.
because I
You
was
know.
their mom full time for so long, and I was with them all the time. So I felt like because I wasn't able to spend the time with Noe, and now she had another mom, and
That
it was like
you were inconsequential at that
yes,
point.
like I wouldn't have that relationship with Noe that I had with the other two.
Which turned out
And-
being completely wrong.
It did, and it was
Yes.
it was a fear that was unfounded, and I do get that now. But I mean, if the other two called you mom, it wouldn't bother me. It was just that I felt like okay now
That was
I
all
don't
fresh
get-
and new.
It's the
and,
whole.
and
It's
not
the
only
whole.
that,
I'm
but there
mama.
was still animosity at that time, and it was just like I'm being replaced, and you know, I've lost everything that I knew, and now, you know, my baby's calling somebody else mom. So yeah, it did cause some emotional.
I'm talking.
Well,
this
no,
asshole.
I mean like deep emotional insecurities in me at first. But, you know, I eventually got over that, and I never said anything in front of the kids whatsoever because
We've
because
never
the thing
said
is
anything.
We
that,
always talk
you know,
shit quietly.
Yeah,
well,
absolutely.
Like I
These
said,
motherfuckers
That
here.
motherfucker.
Oh, did you see this
no,
bitch?
because like I said, you know, I grew up with my stepmom being my primary parent, so
But she'd also bash your mom in front of you.
no, she would not.
Oh, okay. All right.
She would not.
So
ever.
that's good. Kudos
Like
to her.
the only time that she ever did, she didn't realize I was in the room because I was hiding on our little wraparound couch.
Because I think it was the other way
She was on the
around.
phone.
Like Jimmy had said something and like Margaret.
No, my
was
my
that?
mom would occasionally make comments. My biological mom would
Oh,
occasionally
yeah, okay,
make comments
that's what it
because
was. Okay.
because she wasn't around, and I felt like she was trying to fight for that affection because she wasn't around as much.
Yeah.
And so I kind of got it from, you know, my parents never mentioned my biological mom, who I wasn't around all the time, because they wanted me to form my own relationship and my own opinion. And they didn't want the problems that they had
to taint
To
your
taint-
relationship.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then, you know, my mom, she felt like because she wasn't there, she kind of had to fight for that and kind of had to win our favor and stuff like that. So she would kind of, you know, talk a little bit of smack. But I didn't want to do that with the kids because my whole thing was, you know, I understand living with a stepmom. So I didn't want them to feel like they had to choose between us.
Yeah, and I never.
There's one time that I remember. I'm sorry. There's one time that I remember being pissed off to the point where I said
He says
something.
he's sorry and then keeps talking.
I did, but I was on attention. Fuck you.
Sorry.
There's one time where I remember talking shit because I was fucking furious, and we had gone to the land, and Chris had told me something about Bobby, and I was, you know, I didn't say shit about it. It just brooded in me the whole night. You know how I am. And I started fucking drinking with Jimmy.
know.
Fuck you. Started drinking with Jimmy and Mandy's dad. And after a while, it just kind of came out. I was like, you know what? Fuck that motherfucker, blah, blah, blah. You know, all this bullshit. And Jimmy looked at me and he was like, hey, dude, that's her fucking dad. You respect him. And I didn't even realize Chris was walking by. Like, I was fucking, like, I wasn't out of it, but I was just
You were
so
focused
fucking
on what was
focused.
going on.
Zoned
I didn't
out.
notice that Chris had walked out and he was walking by, and he was within earshot. He didn't hear me, luckily, or anything like that. But Jimmy was like, "Hey, dude, that's her dad. You fucking respect him. You don't want to teach those fucking kids to disrespect their father." Blah blah blah. And I felt like a piece of shit. I was like, "Damn, dude, you know, like," and it made me respect him more because even though he's not your biggest fan, he still respected you.
I can't imagine
Well,
why.
he still respected you as a provider and as a father.
Yes.
And he still does. You know what I mean? And that's what I always loved about Jimmy.
Yeah.
We got along because
sees
we came
things
from the
different.
same.
He
blue-collared-
he sees things from the perspective he should for
As
the
a father.
benefit of children.
Yeah, exactly.
Because he had to do it
As a
with
father.
you girls. So whenever it came to our situation, it made it that much easier for him to
Exactly.
see the real
Exactly.
shit
Well,
for the
not
kids.
only that, but like even whenever we were married and he didn't have maybe the highest opinion of you because he thought you were a little soft, but he
Can't imagine
he
why.
also he was like, you know, hey, you know, I'm a blue collared guy. I had to do this because of the way that I was raised. You know,
And that's why we got
couldn't
along.
That's
afford
what- yeah, that's why you and Jimmy
to have somebody, you know, to pay somebody to do it for me. So, you know, I respect the fact that he can, you know. He was raised to be able
Hey,
to
dude,
do
if I
that,
could pay
and
somebody
he
to do this
provides
shit,
for my
fuck it,
daughter
pay
and
him.
her kids. So, you know, I respect him. So he's always had a respect for you.
As a provider and
And-
as a father.
Yes.
There's this
And-
little cat around he doesn't care for.
It's just as a blue collared cat, that's how you look at suits.
Yeah.
And that's what he sees you as. You're a fucking. In his mind, you're a guy that puts on a tie and goes to a fucking, you know, wherever you bank
Which
or.
I have
No
never
calluses
put on
I know,
on your
I know.
hands.
outside of a job interview.
But in a blue collared
No, yeah.
cat's mind, that's what they think. Oh, he has soft hands. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And when
I
Jimmy,
like to moisturize.
when Jimmy met me,
He saw the exact
well,
opposite.
he heard me tell him that I was an electrician, blah, blah, blah. And he tried to bust my balls about, you know, oh, well, blah. I came back at him with every, oh yeah, well in this situation I did this, and and I told him about the different job sites I've been on, and dude, I've built these places, I've built this place, go anywhere in fucking Lake Collins, Frisco you want, I fucking touched it. Yeah, that's just the way it was. And he was like, oh, well, all right,
you
cool.
actually know what the fuck you're talking about. Say it.
Worked anywhere from fucking low voltage to fucking 477. Like, you're going to die. Ooh, spine tangly dangly fun. It's like, this shit's crazy. Fucking hair stand up on you. But
yeah,
it really made me respect him a lot more. I liked Jimmy when I first met him, but the fact that he stood up for you and he didn't even like you at the time. I mean, straight
at the
up.
time, he probably don't like you now.
He likes you.
Let's be
He
real.
fucking loves you. He loves both of y'all. But at the time, he didn't.
I've never had a bad experience with your father.
He's cool in a
He
motherfucker.
is one of the nicest men
I agree with that too.
that I've ever met.
He is the reason that I was able to get over my own shit and be the way that I wanted us to be.
Yeah.
That I was able to put my own,
Ego.
Yeah, ego
That's
and,
ego.
and personal
fucking ego.
feelings aside for the sake of the kids. And the reason why, you and I had talked about in the beginning that, we wouldn't badmouth the other person
it had
and
to be
that we
different.